Hi there! Today we're doing a very quick and easy 10 minutes makeup look that you can wear for work, school, or whenever you're in a hurry and don't have a lot of time to do your makeup. It's literally going to take you 10 minutes, maybe 15 if it's like your first time trying it. Okay, let's get to work. Very important, I have my skincare base on. So I do have my skincare plus my sunscreen. Sunscreen is very important for daytime. If you can see natural light, you need sunscreen, even if you're at home. If you have windows in your home, you need sunscreen. I currently use the Catrice sunscreen. I'm just going to insert a picture here because I'm too lazy to go grab it. That being said, I'm not going to apply a face primer, so my sunscreen is going to be my base for today. I'm going to jump straight into foundation. This is totally optional. If you don't feel like you need foundation, you can totally skip it. I could go without foundation as well, but I do like having a base for my other products to go on top. I'm actually using a very light coverage foundation. It's actually a skin tint, the Kind and Free Skin Tint by Rimmel. You guys know that I absolutely love this one for everyday wear. I do have the shade 160 Vanilla. I could have used a tiny little lighter shade, but it's fine, I can work with it. So this is actually a skin tint, not really a foundation, which means that the coverage is very light. It has a natural dewy finish, it's very hydrating, and the texture kind of resembles a BB cream, so it's like very creamy. Oh, and by the way, I do have my brows already done. It's not like I filled them in or anything, I just set them with my Got2b Glued gel. You can use a clear brow gel or a tinted brow gel if you need to fill in some sparse areas. Brows are usually a very personal thing, so you can do them however you like, but like if you want to save time, a tinted brow gel is just the solution for that. Okay, let's apply this skin tint because I've been talking a lot. I don't need a lot of it, just spreading it evenly on my face basically. It just fell. I don't want it on my under eyes, so I just will remove this. I'm going to spread it a little bit with my fingers before moving on to the sponge. I'm using my Real Technique sponge and really blending this into my skin. I can kind of work around this shade because it has a very light coverage. So it is a tiny bit darker, but since it's so light in coverage, when you blend it out it shears and the shade becomes a little bit more versatile. I'm going to take the excess product on my neck anyway. For concealing, I'm again using my favorite product, the Maybelline Anti-Age Eraser. I do have the shade Light here. This again looks very natural on the skin. It covers kind of like a medium to high coverage, but it's not like a full coverage concealer. It's very hydrating as well, so it doesn't dry out your under eyes, which I really love. I'm applying it on my under eyes, and you can use this to cover your pimples as well if you have any. I'm concentrating it in the inner portion of my eye so it lightens this area. This area is usually the most dark for a lot of people, especially for me because I have deep set eyes. I'm just going to apply a little bit on my lid as well. So that's the placement that I usually do. And again, if you have some pimples, you can use your concealer to cover them up instead of using a high coverage foundation all over the face. I'm just going to take the same sponge and blend this by doing little taps like that. So I'm not moving the product around too much. And let's use the leftover product on these pimples, even though they're not that noticeable. Next, I will set the under eyes. You can set the entire face if you feel like you need to, if you have oilier skin, but I usually just set the under eyes. I'm just going to use my Rcma No Color Powder. I just moved it into another jar. I feel like I need to say this because obviously this is not the Rcma jar. And lately I've been loving to set with the sponge. I feel like my concealer lasts so much longer and the under eye area looks so much smoother. But you can do whatever works for you. You can use a brush if you want. So I'm just going to take a little bit of powder on my sponge. Like that. Let's remove some of that excess. And I'll make sure there are no creases before I set. You don't want to set a crease because basically it's going to be there for the entire day if you do that. And I'm just going to press the powder on my under eyes. And I'm also dragging it down towards my pores area. This really blurs out the pores. And as you can see, it really brightens my under eyes as well. And I think I'm also going to set my lids, because I don't think I'll be applying eyeshadow primer today. because I'm not actually going to use an eyeshadow, I'm just going to use my bronzer. Spoiler alert. Okay, next up, bronzer. I'm going to use my Dior Nude bronzer. Obviously, you don't need Dior. You can take any bronzer that you want. I like this one because it's not very dark. It's not so much darker than my skin tone. It's actually like only a few shades darker. And it looks very natural. It also has a little bit of a sheen to it, which I really love. I kind of do prefer a little bit of shimmery bronzer, not really that noticeable, but I do like the healthy finish that it gives. I'm applying the bronzer kind of underneath my cheekbone. Since I'm not applying a contour powder, I'm trying to add a little bit of dimension with the bronzer. So you can obviously apply a contour powder, but I do want to take out as many products as I can because I want to make this makeup very quick. And obviously the more products you use, the more time consuming the look is going to be. I'm applying it on the sides of my forehead as well, and on the tip of my nose, underneath and on the tip as well. For my eyelids, I'm just going to use the same bronzer, and I'm picking it up on a blending brush. This is a Juvia's Place 007, tapping off the excess, and I'm going to start from my outer corner and I'm connecting it to the face bronzer. This will ensure that you have a very cohesive look, because you're basically using the same colors all over. I picked up a little bit more and I'm applying it on the lower lash line as well. And again, I'm connecting it to the top part. You want everything to be really well blended. But with these lighter shades, it's very easy to create a nice blend because you can't really go wrong with them. Next, I will apply some blush. I can look very sick without blush. I usually go for pink tones, but of course you can use whatever you like. I'm going to use these two shades from the Sigma Blush Cheek Palette. I'm just going to mix them. So I'm taking them on my Sigma F10 blush brush. And I'm applying that high up above the bronzer and keeping it on the sides of my face. I feel like this kind of placement really lifts up my cheekbones. And I really like that. And I like using the leftover product on the tip of my nose and like on my forehead. Again, it creates kind of like a cohesive color all over. But I basically have no product on my brush right now, so I don't have a pink forehead. To do the final touch to the face, I'm just going to use my baked highlighter from e.l.f. This is in the shade Moonlight Pearl, so I'm applying it high up on my cheekbone here. Look at that beautiful glow. It's just so natural, so if you like really blinding highlighters, this might not be for you. But it just adds such a healthy glow to the skin. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I'm highlighting the center of my face, basically the highest points and in between my brows here. I do love this placement more than on the bridge of the nose because I do have the bones of my nose are very prominent. So highlighting the bridge of the nose doesn't really work for my nose shape. But I do like to highlight here. And then I'm going to take a tinier brush with the same highlighter and I will highlight my inner corner and my brow bone. But here in my inner corner, I like bringing it a little bit on my lid as well, since I don't have any shadow there. So basically hugging my eye, the inner portion of my eye with it. And I'll finish off the face with this setting spray from Too Faced. Totally optional. I did not set my face in such a long time. I don't know what's up with me today. Okay, let me finish off the eyes with mascara. I will curl my lashes first. And I'll be applying the Catrice Pore Volume Waterproof Mascara. I'll try not to get it on my eyelids because that's really difficult for me. And when you're in a rush, you don't really want to clean up your lids. And I'll apply it on the lower lashes as well. Moving on to the lips, I will line them with this NYX lip pencil in the shade Nude Beige. It's a very natural shade for me, but I feel like it only works on fair skin tones because it's very light. I'm overlining a little bit in the center. And when I'm doing a soft everyday makeup, I usually don't like feeling my lips dry. I rather have a product with me and reapply throughout the day. I will either go for a lip balm with a little bit of color or a gloss. Today I'm going to go for a gloss. This is the Fenty Fussy gloss. It has a very natural pink tint to it. This is the finished look. I feel like it just makes me look a little bit more awake, a little bit more pulled together, you know. So I really like it, and it only takes like 10 to 15 minutes. I really hope this video was useful and you enjoyed watching it. Comment below how much do you spend on your everyday makeup when you're going to work or school or college or whatever. That being said, I want to thank you so much for watching today's video and I will see you in my next one. Bye!